I'm Louis Arevalo, and I'm speaking to you today. This is a simple action we do every day, but we take for granted because we don't realize that there are others out there that do not have the same ability and are not afforded the same opportunities. Now, emotional and physical neglect are major problems that are plaguing the abused children that are raised in broken homes and the elderly that are often forgot by family and friends. Now, close your eyes and imagine a life in which you have never seen, been around, or interacted with another human being in any way, shape, or form. How different would your life be? Would you even be able to walk or act like a simple human being? Or even worse, would you make it past infancy? As despairing as it may be, such cases exist. In fact, in a study conducted by Dr. Eve G. Spratt, compared with youth that were tended to emotionally, children with a history of familial neglect and institutional rearing demonstrated lower cognitive and language scores than those that were raised and tended to emotionally. As a whole, we as a human species are social beings. Though the task of developing these interrelationships comes to us naturally, acquiring additional knowledge of the process of expanding our friendship making skills can be obtained from humanitarian or public speaking classes such as this one. Now, the basic need to seek and develop relationships with other human beings is as primal to us as starvation and thirst, and is as important to our psychological well being as hunger and thirst are to our physical satisfaction. Nonetheless, there are disparaging cases of complete neglect and deprivation of this basic need. The effects that follow such cases of neglect can be dramatically devastating and life-changing. Now, a stable base of physical and emotional support is absolutely necessary in development, especially in the stages of ages 3 to 10. Nevertheless, even as we age, we need healthy, stable relationships, and in fact, many scientists attribute a healthy relationship and social activity as the key to maintaining good mental health and warding off diseases such as dementia or Alzheimer's. In fact, in a study done by Ellen Gold for value options, it was reported that elderly people who were likely to spend an afternoon with friends, go to the movies, or any other social activity lived on average 2.5 years longer than those who spent time alone. Now, despite the fact that physical exercise and diet do in fact contribute to their health, those who spent more time around friends reported higher levels of happiness and lower levels of blood pressure, stress, and heart rate. Nevertheless, like stated before, there are disparaging cases of emotional neglect and a complete deprivation of human contact. A dismal example of such misfortune is Jeannie Wiley, the feral child of Los Angeles. Now, Jeannie was born to a couple of deranged parents. In fact, her father hated noise. Jeannie was the youngest of 4 children. Her and her brother were the only to survive. Her father was extremely intolerant of loud noises and would beat her with a bat if she uttered so much as a murmur. As a result, Jeannie spent the first 13 years of her life tied up to a potty or in a homemade straitjacket, never making any noise whatsoever. By the time Child Protective Services intervened, it was too late. Jeannie's physical and motor skills were severely lacking, and her physical ability to speak was practically non-existent. She could hardly move her limbs or even walk on her own. Jeannie's case goes to show that despite the fact that she was tended to by Susan Curtis, a language professional and an author of an article who worked with her, she had trouble developing an understanding of grammatically sentence structures. And this goes to show that past the initial crucial stages of ages 3 to 10, it is extremely difficult, if not outright impossible, to learn any language. Now, everyone needs someone with which they can create memories, share pains and joys, and just converse on a daily basis.